out here chilling.
If I would have known you was wearing your tank top, I would have wore mine. Man.
No, I'm trying to keep it comfortable, man. If you want me to go put a shirt on, man, and
hey, you could take it off.
No, I was trying to set it up. I have my little things back here, my little books back here.
Oh, hey, that's dope, huh?
So I try to keep it real.
Thank you, man. That looks dope. The backyard look really nice too.
Oh yeah, I was throwing that in there too. Yeah.
Flexing on them a little bit.
Okay, I'm Michael Ivory Sr. I'm Rusty's uncle from San Diego, California. Retired, enjoying life in SD.
SD, in Southeast SD.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Started off coaching Little League Baseball back in when Michael was I think he was 10 years old. And I was just a father on the sidelines, just looking and you say, you know what, I could do this, And that was about almost 40 years ago.
Oh, 40.
And started coaching when I started coaching then, and been coaching ever since. I had a little Coach Michael and Michelle and them, and I had a little touch with Rusty. I had a little touch with you.
Not because you liked the series, but you were like an Uncle G. My dad was there, but as I got older, I said, man, Uncle Mike used to come pick me up, and we practiced right up the street. And you come pick me up and take me to O'Farrell, bring not just me, but everybody, I always could call. And you wasn't like, man, walk your butt up the street, literally. You know what I'm saying? You could have.
Yeah.
I live right down the street from O'Farrell, but you always is just a real even keel, a real mellow type, what I'm saying, uncle, but a staple of the community, because not just with me, it's a lot of guys that I was raised with that admire you and my dad. You know what I'm saying? And the time that you guys put into us that you didn't have to, you don't realize when you're young, like these guys got families, jobs, careers. Y'all put in 10, 12 hours a day, sometimes 5, 6 days a week, and still put up with us and do it. You never was bitter. I don't never remember you getting mad at nobody for real. Maybe Mikey, but he probably deserved it, But other than him, you know what I'm saying? He was just like, I don't know.
And it wasn't about deserving it. It's about what we expect from our kids.
Mm-hmm.
We expect more out of them and then others. So it wasn't about being mad at them. It's just expectations.
Yeah.
Just like even with you, I expected more from you than the others.
I seen you grab Mikey up, and then Pops grabbed me up. It was just how it was. I see you got some books behind you.
Oh yeah. I had to throw them up there. Yeah. 1, 2, and 3. Still waiting for 4.
Yeah. I appreciate you, man. You grabbed those off the rip. This question is, what was your favorite part of the series?
It's kind of hard to say favorite part because it walked me through memory lane, youth growing up, and the proper way, and somebody there to help you along the way. I mean, to keep him. I mean, he could have got so stuck in Chicago without Uncle G coming, throwing a helping hand and making that visit and throwing him that lifeline. I love that. And I love the relationships he formed and how he grew. The people that he met along the way, that he wouldn't even thought about at the beginning that he would be entertaining.
Yeah.
And how he was able to, he's about like me. Like at the beginning, public speaking, sometimes I would freeze.
Really?
Yeah, if I get up there and start looking out there and I would freeze.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that before.
What, baseball or work?
No, it was my father-in-law. They were presenting some money to the league. And so entertaining, get up there and thank them and everything else for the generosity and all this other stuff. And I tried to go into a more, elaborate.
Yeah.
And I lost my train of thought, and I'm looking out there at all these people.
Man, I think they said that's the number one fear anyway. Public speaking for most people.
Yeah. So
Yeah. All right. What would you say? What was your least favorite thing, part, or whatever of the series?
the ending, not getting more.
Waiting for part 4. All right. That's a good answer, man. That's a good problem to have, like they say.
You know, and I love where you threw in a lot of godly things.
Uh-huh.
You know, recognize that. You know,
Yeah.
okay, Rusty. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I kind of, when you told me, when you called me and you told me, man, because we didn't talk all the time, you know, and when you called me and was like talking about the book, you know, and I was like, man, it was like you really liked it, you know, and it was like not as necessarily surprised, but when I start thinking about it and a little bit of background from like the movement with the Panthers just being a little bit, I was like thinking about your past, and I was like, it was real relatable. Was you involved in the Panther movement, or you was involved in like getting to learning about it?
I
familiar.
I was dibble dabbing. I was at the beginning. I never did really get serious with it.
Mm-hmm.
I just related and tried to portray it, but you to it at a younger stage, you know, and it was nothing really that I read about it and stuff, you know, stuff like that, but never joined no organization or nothing like that. No, I didn't really carry out anything like that.
Yeah. But just the fact that it attracted you, it was something, not necessarily about the Panthers, but about the movement or about just the time period of things that was going on. What about that time period was that attracted you to want to even look into it?
No, it's not only okay. That was not even the Panthers. You know, I entertained the Muslims and you know the Muslims down there. You know, it was just how we were being racially. It was everything we know. Things was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I seen it back there, and you know, to be treated a certain way, we're oppressed. You know, and you felt the oppression.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not able to do something, to go somewhere, whatever, because of your color and stuff like that. You know, because you gain strength through somebody, through something to counter what they're putting out. I mean, it's just like stuff that really stuck with me. Like, why at the beginning of the time, why do we come up with these terms of everything is white, is clean, you know, as far as weddings and everything else, and there's white. When you talk about black, it was, you know, dirt, death, and everything else. So it was all this. It was somebody put this forward mentally long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was planned a long time ago. That's my opinion.
I always wondered what even drew you to look into that, you know, because not everybody did. You know, not everybody was interested in even thinking about trying to make a change culture.
No, it was a long thought out plan.
Yeah.
That at the beginning, I can't foresee that was God's plan. I see the handprint of the man part all over it. Yeah. Even to this day, they're so fearful right now of change, of somebody else is going to take over. It's just culturally killing us, and they're going to do anything possible, whether it's changing laws or putting people in place to keep us suppressed, keep us from voting, which we fought all these years to get to vote.
Yeah.
Now they don't want us to vote.
Yeah.
Or because they lose power.
It's a game. Keep playing the game, and then you say we come from one of the most oppressed countries as far as slavery is concerned, and then why are we the country in the world with the most incarcerated, and who's incarcerated? So it's just moved from one place to another.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah. It's
the same thing. It's a different name. Yeah. Okay. Before it was slavery. Now it's prison. Lock them up.
Yeah.
To be slavery.
Yeah.
In other words, we don't have nobody to do this cheap slavery. So okay, now let's find a way to make them slaves again.
Yeah.
throw them in jail.
Yeah.
And it's very profitable.
While the rest of the U.S. may be struggling for work, there's currently a real boom of job offers for inmates in the country. Both state and some of the biggest private companies are now enjoying the fruits of a cheap and readily available workforce, with tens of millions of dollars spent by private prisons to keep their jails full. RT's Gaina Chichikan takes up the story.
In the U.S., the market for cheap labor is booming behind bars. In the last 15 years, partnership between prisons and private manufacturers has increased significantly. They're becoming America's very own Chinese-style manufacturing line behind prison walls. Prisons, in fact, advertise themselves as such, as an alternative to outsourcing cheap labor to China or elsewhere. On the web, we came across this pitch that prisons prepared to persuade private sector companies to come and do business with them. Take a look.
There's not enough folks that will do this type of work in this country. So therefore, we're bringing back this industry that historically has been going out of this country, and we're putting it, inside the walls. And it's absolutely a perfect idea. I have a workforce that does not have car problems or babysitting problems, etc. They're always here, and they're always willing to come to work.
Bring your business to our labor.
A wide variety of industries take advantage of prison labor. Among many other things, prisoners make clothing, textiles, electronics, furniture, and even solar panels.
Just as we're trying to get China to stop with their prison labor, ours is at the same time increasing.
Hundreds of companies have used prison labor directly or through subcontractors, including Microsoft, Boeing, Starbucks, Victoria's Secret, and others.
They qualify for federal tax breaks. They can get recompensated up to 40% of the wages that they pay to these inmates. We as taxpayers, we have to house, feed, and provide medical care and everything for all of these inmates. We do this as taxpayers. It comes out of the tax pools. And that keeps the actual prison workforce healthy and in shape to go out and perform these jobs for these private companies.
Hard-working and reliable. Inmates show up for work every day voluntarily.
Work in prison is mandatory, and the choice many inmates have is whether to work for a government-run prison industry for less than $1 an hour or a private one for a minimum wage of around $6. Unicor is a government-owned corporation that uses prison labor to produce all kinds of goods, mainly for other government agencies. 175 different types of products and services. You see the variety listed on their website. They too partner up with private firms now. Last year, Unicor's revenue reached $900 million. As far as private prisons are concerned, two of the country's biggest prison corporations made $3.3 billion last year alone.
Private prisons are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. They are for-profit companies, and the savings that they reap from using inmate labor go to their bottom line. It's money they otherwise don't have to spend in order to keep a facility running.
Large prison populations and harsh sentences result in greater profits. America's three major private prison companies spend around $45 million over the past 10 years on lobbying state and federal governments for supporting immigrant detention, mandatory minimum sentences, three strikes laws, and other legislative measures that contribute to the growth of America's gigantic prison population. The U.S. now holds more people behind bars than any other nation, more than 2 million. That's 1/4 of all prisoners in the world. From a cost-effectiveness point of view, the $45 million that private prisons have reportedly spent over the past decade lobbying to keep prisons full is peanuts compared to the billions that they make every year. One can argue about the many causes and effects of America's skyrocketing incarceration rate, but since prisons became a for-profit industry in the U.S. 30 years ago, the number of prisoners has gone up dramatically. Not to say that it was the only cause behind the spike, but many argue it was part of it. And now with the cheap labor market expanding behind American bars, one is wondering whether the justice system in the U.S. is adopting market values. In Washington, I'm Ganesh Shekan.
How about this question? Did you race to the end, or was it more of a slow burn?
Yeah, I didn't put it down. No, I grabbed the next one right after the other one. Yeah, I didn't let it marinate or nothing.
Yeah, that was my hopes. I was like, if somebody has to order it and wait for it, hopefully they get it off of Prime and you know, and hopefully maybe they anticipate like, oh man, did the book come yet? I wanted to finish, see what happened. What did you think of the writing?
Writing was excellent. I think it would cover a lot of age groups, young and old, anywhere from 10 to 80. You know me. For me to sit there and read a book, I'm not doing it because you're my nephew. Yeah, I'm gonna read it. I thought I was gonna read a couple of pages and say, okay, yeah, I got it. I wasn't reading it for you. After that, I was reading it because it was interesting.
When was the last time that you read before the book, the series? When was the last time you have read something just for enjoyment, for leisure?
About 20 years ago, 20, 30 years ago.
I'm glad,
As a matter of fact, Dave Winfield I haven't read his.
Hey, man, you just made me feel good, Unc. You know, when Dave Winfield gave you a book and you read mine before his.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I didn't even know you knew Dave.
Oh, yeah, me and your dad, yeah, okay. When we doing a Little League, me and your dad was trying to get that little pottery park up there. And then he joined our team trying to get that. He was helping us with it. Him and Tony Young and Dave Winfield.
Dave Winfield, a real one. Is he from San Diego? Or he just played?
I thought he was from Minnesota. No,
Okay.
he's not really, but he played with the Padres.
Yeah.
Remember they recruited him out of high school.
Oh, okay.
When he was 18, and he was,
What surprised you about the book?
nothing really surprised me because I've seen that picture before. Like at the beginning, he was in a game, and that's all he basically knew about is the gang life. And then going and meeting his Uncle G, which kind of introduced him to another life. Okay, that wasn't, another life, another culture, and talking in front of crowds, and he got everybody looking up to him. And I could see the light coming on. I could see the light coming on in his head. I had never been around this before. Making money on his own, and got to meet. I forgot their names, but the Asian guys.
Oh,
going
yeah.
over there. Yeah, and going through that process.
Mhm.
That was, oh man, I loved it.
Made you want to root for him?
Oh yeah. He had a vision of opening up his own youth
Mhm.
and interact. I mean, he just grew so much. He was interacting with representatives from the city councils and stuff like that.
Yeah, the mayor running for mayor and stuff.
Yeah. The one, yeah.
That's where I wanted to make sure I had touched on the importance of getting involved in politics and stuff. So in the later books, 4, 5, and 6, they start moving into not just there, but they'll start getting involved.
Oh, 4, 5, and 6.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Took me on a journey. So how could I alter?
How about book taking you on a emotional roller coaster? From 1 to 10, what would you say? What would you rate it? Did you cry any?
No. It's, you know what? As far as the emotional roller coaster, no, I haven't seen most of this. So maybe at my age, I'm gonna say a 5, even kill, because I experienced and seen a lot of this. That's part of what, like I said, kept me interested.
My thinking was, even when the first part of the book, the first volume, when he went to stay with Uncle G, it didn't cover him going to school. So he went to school for a couple years, high school, before he went to college. And so I was thinking like I could come back and write those parts in. That could be another book series.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So I wasn't mistaken in that was kind of left, kind of jumped from to your imagination.
Yeah. Because I wanted to push the story, because I was still trying to make sure I left opportunity to put stuff about finances, about technology, about building, about, I didn't want to hold people, because like you said, a lot of people are big readers. So I didn't want to put a whole lot of just in between stuff. I was trying to get some meat about community, about building, coming together, which will be like 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's when like they start creating businesses around the country and bringing in exports from China and buying stores. And it's still like issues coming up, still gonna be like trials and tribulations. But Yeah, I was trying to push it along and not put too many fillers in there.
Yeah. I think it's he done well.
Thank you. Would you read any more books from this author?
No, probably not. No,
You
man,
already
I'm,
said you was
I'm already bugging you anyway. So yeah, no matter what, I don't care what you put out there, Rusty. I'm gonna be supportive, but being real. This wasn't about you being my nephew. This was about I read a good book.
Yeah,
I read a good couple of books. It was a good series. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it, and it would sure. I'm looking forward to the next.
Why did you and have you dedicate so many years to the young people, and particularly Little League?
It's the love of the game. I always have loved baseball, was playing, and I was pretty good at it. So and between me and your dad, my brother, we just love the game, and we admired baseball. And then to get out there and teach it and get involved with the younger kids coming through, it's just made you can see where it can make a difference in the younger kids and the ones that we did teach, and it got contagious. It got contagious, even though you taught a group that moved on, there was always the younger group behind them that you touched base with them, you kind of dabbled with them a little bit, and then all of a sudden, okay, I got to stick around for them to come through. And then when they got 12 or 11, whatever, the next 8, you always had another little group, and it kept going on and on, that you couldn't leave anybody behind, Once you got to know them a little bit. Say, for instance, I coached 10, 11, 12. Okay, I was there for the 12-year-olds, but then again, the 11-year-olds turned 12. I had to stick around for them, and the 10-year-olds was 11. And it was an ongoing process. And just the kids making a difference.
Because you said the love of the game, and this ain't what we was going to talk about, but I was always interested to know, because you said the love of the game, though, but most of the kids didn't go on to play high school and less went off to play college, but you still continue to, you knew that, you know what I'm saying, and you still continue to coach them. Why?
Because even though they didn't move on, it was the camaraderie, that just the bonding of other kids with other kids, and even to the day, these kids they stay in touch with each other. They bonded at that young age with each other. And I played with what's the name down there in Little League with him and with Rusty. I played with me and Rusty. We played on Coach Mike Ivory's team. Yeah, I remember. We and to them, in their mind, they did go on. They moved on.
Yeah.
No, everybody's not here to make it to the professional level, but it's to learn how to interact with other kids, learn responsibilities, and become a successful human being, to me.
And so that's kind of like where I was getting to. I know you love the game, but I was wondering, was it the fact that you was impacting these young people's lives knowingly, and it wasn't just necessarily baseball, but you was helping to mold, if you felt that you knew you was helping to mold the young people just in life in general, to be better men and women?
Oh yeah, for sure, because the odds of them making it to the pros is like a meteor falling on their head,
Yeah.
We know that, but it shows there's I guess the beginning of a vision, what's possible. It's possible. If I work hard, do this and do that, yeah.
You was in our family one of the ones that consistently went to church and had like a relationship that you could say, oh, Uncle Mike, he a man of God, or what I'm saying, not perfect or whatever, but to say like you was always consistent and in church and stuff. Would you equate baseball and coaching to like your ministry? Not necessarily like you was trying to convert people, kids and Christians, but imparting what a man of God looks like. maybe.
At the beginning, I wasn't even considered it. But as years went on, and then and passion, and I see, yeah, you know what? Maybe this is my calling to do this. Try to influence some positive influence on younger men or women coming through. I guess you could say that. Even to this day, I'm still growing as far as trying to learn more about the kids. And most of the time they're coming up there from, not all of them, but a lot of them coming up there and from being hollered at home and being this and that, being disciplined and all this other stuff. The last thing they want to do is come up there and have another coach up there and start disciplining them and hollering at them and putting them down.
Yeah.
So I was trying to become an outlet. It's something that they would want to do and have fun doing.
Wasn't you were you president of the Little League at one point too?
Yes, right. Anita went through. Anita, I know you remember Anita for sure. Yeah. She was a big influence. It was in the family too. Yeah. She was a big influence on me.
Really?
Coaching.
Because she coached me. She coached me in caps, maybe.
It's our family. It's something that we did. If you go back.
Even my
mom. If I go back in the time, my dad, your grandpa, he used to play ball a lot, and he was good at it. Uncle Dave, they used to have we used to softball games and stuff in the early years. They were good at the sport.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, we used to go to games on Saturday night, Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, well, that's it, man. That's all I got. Once again, man, I appreciate you more than just being my uncle. I appreciate everything that you've done for us as a community, and just as an example of just a good human being.
Proud of you, man. I've been watching you grow, and you're still growing. And just keep doing what you're doing, and don't forget. I see you haven't forgot where you came from. All you do is see what God have in front of you for the future. Because you already know what the past was. He's the only one to know your future. But you doing your part. Hopefully the floodgates will open up for you and everything that you want and get out of it.
Come on, man.
It's going to be there. Just be patient. We say patience. Patience.
Yeah, it's a virtue. All right, I appreciate, man. I thank you.
Oh, no problem, Russ. Get me to do this, man. You know, I kind of dreaded it, but I'm going to do it for you.
I appreciate it. I know. I think just people need to, when they see you saying just because of who you are in the community, and they'll be like, man, let me at least check it out. And that's all I want, just to check it out, because I believe it's important for particularly the younger people to get just to hear what's in the book, hear the words. Okay, love you, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, love you too, Russ. And anytime.
Grow through concrete. So why is it that when you see some ghetto kid grow out of all of the dirtiest circumstances, and he can talk and he can sit across from you, make you smile, make you cry, make you laugh, all you can talk about is my dirty rows, my dirty stems, and how I'm leaning crooked to the side. You can't even see that I came up out of that.